Hiring teams today are caught in a brutal tug of war. Move too slow, and you lose top talent to faster competitors. Move too fast, and you risk letting a disastrous hire slip through the cracks. Over the last decade, trust has quietly become the most measurable asset in human resources. We can verify it and track it, but the moment the screening system breaks down, the operational damage is immediate. Take Waitmans LLP. As an award-winning UK law firm with over 1,600 employees, their margin for error is effectively zero. Strict compliance and a sterling reputation are the foundation of their business. For years, they relied on Agenda, now part of the Verimark Group, for background screening. But during a period of internal change, Waitmans decided to test a new, heavily software-driven provider to see if a tech-first approach could improve their results. It's a common move. Even highly successful, risk-averse organizations are drawn away from stable partnerships by the promise of a sleek interface and total automation. The transition pushed Waitmans' background screening into an environment managed strictly by software, removing the human touchpoints they had previously relied on. While the interface looked modern, the operational reality quickly surfaced. The new provider lacked the personalized support and reliability that Waitmans needed to handle complex cases. When a hiring pipeline hits something the software doesn't recognize, like a complex international background, the automated workflow stalls. These choke points force manual intervention, spilling the workload back onto HR desks and adding days to the time to hire. Waitmans realized that when verifying human data, a rigid algorithm cannot replace the nuance of a responsive support team. Removing the human safety net to automate compliance creates a vacuum. Attempting to automate these complex tasks without expert oversight actually multiplies the operational risk. Recognizing the total system failure, Waitmans pivoted. They cut their losses and initiated a transition back to the Verimark team. The onboarding was immediate. Verimark already understood their requirements, reintegrating into the Waitmans workflow without the usual vendor friction. Communication channels opened back up, and the HR administrative burden dropped. The team was no longer spending their afternoons troubleshooting a software interface. Returning to a proven vendor isn't a retreat. It's an intentional move that prioritizes actual performance over the aesthetic of a new platform. Verimark solves 3 friction points in background checks. First, real-time transparency. Live updates ensure candidates never disappear. Next, frictionless workflows. The interface minimizes clicks, speeding up submissions. Finally, the human element. A dedicated team resolves discrepancies early, acting as an HR extension. The competitor's model collapsed because it lacked this balanced approach, relying on software to solve problems that required human judgment. This integration also allows for continuous screening, a system that monitors compliance over the long term rather than relying on a single check at the moment of hire. Reliability is engineered by knowing exactly which tasks belong to an algorithm and exactly when to deploy an expert. Since returning to Verimark, Waitmans' HR team has moved away from defensive troubleshooting and back into a state of operational stability. The metrics show the result. Faster turnaround times on background checks have accelerated their hiring decisions, allowing them to secure candidates before they are off the market. This chart plots the relationship. As reliable screening drives their compliance risks down, their hiring velocity increases in direct response. A premium background check delivers a verified candidate, but its secondary value is the total removal of HR anxiety from the daily hiring process. Looking at the broader landscape, it's clear that software is a tool, not a total solution. A screening platform only works when it functions as a seamless part of the internal team it serves. Waitmans' journey proves that innovation without reliability is a net negative.